In what may become a semi-yearly tradition for this channel, today we are checking out the newest big update for General's Evolution, a mod for Red Alert 3 that aims to fully recreate and expand upon the much beloved Command & Conquer General's 0 Hour inside Red Alert 3's engine. The last major release came with version 0.2 in the beginning of 2021, seems like a lifetime ago now, and while it was an impressive showcase, it wasn't quite feature rich enough to really spend a ton of time with. Limited factions, maps, units, and abilities meant that you could experience all of the content within a fairly short amount of time, and there were more than a few reminders dotted around that wouldn't let you forget that you were just playing a mod for Red Alert 3. But alas, after over a year's work from its developers, General's Evolution version 0.3 is now upon us, chock full of new features, changes, and bug fixes that promise to make a fuller, more polished, and overall, more enjoyable experience. And maybe even something you could play on the regular without it getting stale. And a quick note for those unfamiliar, and because of the number of comments I received on the last video about this, yes, you do need to own Red Alert 3 for this mod, but you don't need to own Generals. All the information on how to install and run the mod can be found on its ModDB page, and the link for that is in the description. What you'll also find over there are ways to support the creators financially. And while I'm not affiliated in any way, but if you're able, I would consider doing so. I'll give them $50 each to show my appreciation, because, spoiler alert, this mod is flippin' awesome. It sure doesn't feel like it, but it really has been over a year since that last big release. And while the project is still only helmed by 2 people, there remains numerous massive changes and additions in 0.3 that are really exciting. Firstly, and most importantly, the sub-factions from 0 Hour have been added to the game. So that's 3 for the USA, China, and the GLA, making for 12 total. Each have their own unique abilities and units of course, some of which you'll remember from 0 Hour, and some which are completely new. This alone greatly expands upon the amount of sheer stuff there is here, so much so that if you got bored of 0.2, 0.3 will likely usher in enough new content to get you re-engaged. Furthermore, the AI has been overhauled, several maps have been added and remade, bugs have been squashed, performance improved, balance altered, and critically, there's now a button to start the game direct to windowed mode in the launcher. Honestly, this is really nice when you're recording on an ultra-wide monitor, so thank you. Anyways, while I won't go into every change and addition, because there's a lot of them, I'd recommend you check out the changelog if you are interested and want the finer details. Or, if you just want to know about the factions, cast your eye over these lovely tech tree graphics that they've put together. Now, there are of course some key features that are still missing in 0.3, but those will be coming in later updates. Some exciting things in the pipeline are spec ops and co-op missions, more infantry units, more maps, more polish, and more bug fixes. Don't expect anything soon though, remember it's just 2 guys behind this project and they've said they're taking some time off for now. Well deserved, I say. Enough on the future though, let's talk about what General's Evolution version 0.3 is actually like to play right now. Well, it's awesome, what did you expect? It's an all-around improvement on the last major release I played a year ago, and it's really starting to actually feel like a full, modern remake of Generals. The new sub-factions do help a lot, as there's now nearly as much variety as the original game between all the units and abilities that are at your disposal. Some things will still take you out of it and remind you that you're inside Red Alert 3, like resource names and the irritating unit outline, but these are minor complaints really. It really does play great, and it's just like you're playing Generals again. There is an issue that's a little more major, and that's performance. While it's good enough most of the time, occasionally the frame rate does tank, and even if it doesn't, you'll constantly be reminded that Red Alert 3's engine is locked to 30 FPS. Honestly, I think the biggest wall in the developer's way right now is the engine itself, and I can't help but wonder if the old bear is going to allow them to implement everything that they are hoping to do come final release, because there's a lot there. One final thing I will mention is that I did run into Big Purple quite regularly, though it was only in menus, and this is obviously still a development build, so I'm sure this will get ironed out later on. But yeah, it's just super fun, and playing through all the factions, getting all the units, all those classic units, hearing the voice lines, the music, it's really just great. And you can play online with your mates too, it really does feel like the good old days. Honestly, if you had told me this is a General's remaster from Petroglyph or something, I might just believe you. But man, overall this mod really never ceases to impress. The sheer scope of it, plus the quality of the execution, leaves me no hesitation in recommending it if it's something you like the sound of. It's super easy to download, install, and run. All you need is a copy of Red Alert 3, and like I said, you can even play multiplayer via CNC Online. What's not to love? It's likely we won't see the next major release of General's Evolution for another year or even more, so settle in and enjoy what's available here with 0.3. As always, links in the description if you're interested, and if you do give it a try, let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear if you think it's on the right track to becoming a faithful, full and complete recreation of the classic that we all love so much. And hey, thank you for watching. If you do like what I do here, please consider supporting me via YouTube memberships or Patreon, like these lovely folk here. And don't forget to vote for your favourite RTS campaign of all time, link in the description. Voting closes at the end of March 2022. Thanks again very much, and I will see you all next time.